Good evening, everyone. Forecaster Mason Willis here with the Fast Track Storm Center, coming to you live again for a new tornado warning that has been issued for South Central Preble County, Northern Butler County. This goes until 11:30 p.m. for this storm right here that you see that is currently over the top of Oxford right now. So if you're in Oxford right now, if you're in Oxford currently, you need to be moving into your shelters currently. Um, this is going to continue to track to the um, northeast at 29 miles per hour. So if you live anywhere within the following locations: Oxford, 7 Mile, Dartown, Riley, Somerville, Jacksonburg, McGonigal, St. Charles, or Collins, or even Collinsville, you need to be moving to your shelters right now. This is all radar indicated. I'm going to go ahead and go to the velocity. Sure enough, there it is right there. There's the circulation right there that we are watching currently. Again, we have winds going away from the radar, which is what you see shaded in red. So winds going away from the radar in red. And then you have winds coming towards the radar in green, okay? And when you get them very, very close to each other, like we are seeing here on our velocity scans, that means we have a very, very tightly wrapped up storm, okay? And you notice the colors are starting to become a little bit bright. We're seeing some of these brighter greens and brighter reds coming closer and closer and closer together. That means that the winds are moving very, very fast within this storm, okay? So this storm definitely has the potential of producing a tornado, really. Keep in mind, this is also the area that is also in the tornado watch. That remains in effect until midnight, as this is still the primed area for some severe weather over the next few hours, okay? So if you just joined me here on Facebook Live or even on YouTube, we have a tornado warning that is in effect for the south central part of Preble County, as well as northern Butler County until 11:30 p.m., okay? I'm going to go ahead and flip over to my debris tracker to see if we have any indications of debris, and nothing showing up at the moment, really. So that is some positive news, really, but certainly not something to take lightly, really, especially with the setup that we have for these storms to be able to produce tornadoes. You can see just some noise out ahead of it, but no debris signatures showing up within the storm, really, so that's good. I'll go ahead and go back over to velocity scans, and we'll get into street level and see exactly which communities, or which roads are very much at risk. So if I call out a street name that sounds familiar to you, it's either your street or it's one that is like 5 minutes down the road from you. Take shelter, okay? So if you live along Oxford Riley Road, take shelter. Springfield Road, Indian Creek Road, Stillwell Road, Riley Millville Road, Sample Road, Stevenson Road, Stillwell Beckett Road, Imhoff Road, Oxford Millville Road, Booth Road, Law Road, Nicholas Road, that's Stevenson Road again, Nicholas Road, Wallace Road, Lanes Mill Road, and then Keir Road. So if you live along or near any of those streets, even Riggs Road, if you live anywhere near or along any of those streets I just called out, take cover now, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put a track on this and see exactly which communities are up next for this potential tornado, really. So let me get an indication of speed first. Moving to the northeast at 29 miles per hour. Just give me a second here. We'll put it there at like 18. Somerville, 30 minutes. 46 minutes West Elkton. And then Gratis, 58 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go back over to the correlation coefficient. Still not seeing any indications of debris, so that is some good news, meaning that this tornado has not touched down yet. But like I said, don't take that lightly, okay? Because this storm could drop a tornado at any given time, okay? Go back over to radar. You can see this storm trucking right along, and it's moving right through Oxford right now, okay? So if you're in Oxford, you need to be down in your basement right now, because it's right over the top of you, okay? Somerville, you need to be in your shelters right now, anyway. 7 Mile, you're on the outer edge of this polygon. You might get brushed by this storm on the northwest side of town, but stay in your shelter if you're in 7 Mile. Jacksonburg, stay in your shelter as well. There's a new image there from Fast Track Doppler radar, and you can see this storm trucking right along. Really, it's moving through Oxford right now. You're getting hammered with heavy rain, possibly some very gusty winds, some lightning, and perhaps maybe even some hail. That might be occurring, some very, very small hail. Go back over to our velocity scans. You see this storm still wrapped up, not as impressive as it was before. So that's some good news, really, that we're not seeing the circulation as tightly wrapped as it was a little bit like a few minutes ago, really, when we came on air for this warning. But I want you to notice something. Right here, you have an area of rotation, and then right here, on the left edge of the polygon, you have another area of rotation that's trying to develop right there. These are both areas where there may be some circulation within the storm, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a tornado necessarily spinning up in any of these given areas. It just means that these areas are at greatest risk for maybe producing a tornado or just circulation, really. So if you're just joining me here on Facebook Live as well as YouTube, because I am simulcasting this live stream right now on YouTube. If you just joined me here, I'm forecaster Mason Willis with the Fast Track Storm Center. I've been on the air for the past few minutes, really covering a tornado warning that is in effect for parts of northern Butler County as well as south central Preble County in Ohio until 11:30 p.m. this evening because of a strong storm that has had radar indications of rotation, okay, within it, all right? We've not had any reports of the tornado touching down, so that is some good news, but certainly not something to take lightly. And I'm also watching this tail end right here, really, where it's starting to curve around. This is an area where winds are like trying to push into the storm and then wrap around, okay? But where the circulation is, it's right in here. So if we do get a tornado out of the storm, it'll be more likely a rain-wrapped tornado, really, because the circulation is actually right within the core of this storm, okay? I'm going to go back over to my debris tracker. Still no indications of any debris being lofted with this storm, so that is some great news to hear. But stay in your shelter if you're in northwestern Butler County, as well as far south central Preble County. Again, this tornado warning goes until 11:30 this evening. Okay. Good. Go back over to radar. Actually, I want to put the hail tracker on. I want to see if this storm is producing a hail. And there you go, right there. We're seeing some of the purples showing up. Okay, now I just saw the warning change a little bit. It looks like they cut back on the southern part of the warning, okay? Still, tornado warning continues for northwestern Butler County and south central Preble County in Ohio until 11:30. So still another few minutes really. It's currently 11:17 on the clock right now. 11:17 on the clock. So we have until 11:30 before this tornado warning is set to expire, and which at that point we'll have to see if the National Weather Service either extends it more to the northeast or decides to let it go for the night. Okay. In other words, lets it expire and doesn't reissue it. Okay. But yeah, we are getting indications of hail with the storm. You see this storm right here. It's a very strong storm, okay? And you see where we have the purple shading showing up right here? That is where the heaviest rain is and most likely where the hail is located as well. So anytime you see the purple shading showing up within this storm, that means there's heavy rain and possibly some hail that has developed within the storm, okay? You might also notice right on the southeastern side, just like this tail edge right here was curving around really. This right here, this part right here is trying to form into what's called an inflow notch. Okay, we had this on the cell earlier that prompted the tornado warning for Union and Preble counties earlier with that previous cell that's now moving off to the north, okay? That just passed through Dark County. So this one's starting to develop a inflow notch. There's an update there from Fast Track Doppler radar. The storm still trucking right along, still holding together. And we still continue with the tornado warning still until 11:30. I'm going to check and see if we have anything new from the National Weather Service. Nothing new as far as damage reports go or any signs of a tornado, really. Just so everyone is aware, though, a flood advisory has been issued for Fayette, Union, and Wayne counties in Indiana, as well as Preble County in Ohio, until 12:45 a.m. And one has been issued for Wayne County, Indiana, as well as Dark and Preble counties in Ohio until 1:45 a.m. And like I said, we continue with the tornado warning until 11:30. So 11:20 currently on the clock. So just another few minutes left on this warning. We'll see what happens then. We also still continue with a tornado watch for Fayette and Union counties in Indiana, as well as Franklin County, Indiana, as well as Butler, Warren, and Preble counties in Ohio until midnight, okay? And like I said, we continue with this tornado warning until 11:30. Still another few minutes on that, left on that warning. Go back over to radar. Actually, I want to go back. I want to go into correlation coefficient. Still not seeing any signs of any debris, which is good. So this tornado is not on the ground, which is some positive news, really. Seeing a little bit of bright shadings trying to show up around Oxford, really, but that's not tornado debris at all. Okay, this is a new flood advisory for Union County, Indiana, as well as Butler and Preble counties in Ohio until 2:15. So we are starting to see um, flood advisories coming out for areas where the rain has already fallen. And so with more rain coming in right behind the first batch, that's going to lead to some issues with flooding. In fact, I'll go ahead and turn um, the radar on, but I will turn the next radar on actually. So we can see what's coming in really. If it will ever load. Not showing up on that one. Okay. So here it is. I'll go ahead and put this into motion. It will go. The warnings are looping. There we go. So you see here, this is a loop over the past, it's like the last 3 hours, really. You see as that first round has moved through, really, moved up to the north, really. Then you got the second batch moving through, and then the third batch right behind here, where it's moving out of Greensburg, Indiana, currently. You can see where we had the tornado warnings earlier for Union County, Indiana, Fayette County as well, and also Preble County. And then also we had the one for Butler and Warren counties earlier, which was allowed to expire because the rotation quickly diminished on that one. That first line, that first batch of rain is moving out of the area and moving out to the north. Then you have the second batch moving in, and then right behind it is the third batch. Okay, keep in mind this is all the remnants. This is the remnants of that hurricane that made landfall on Texas. Okay, around Houston, Galveston Bay. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with right now is the remnants of the hurricane, all right? And there was a potential for severe weather to occur with all the remnants, okay? I'll go ahead and turn the national radar off, and we'll send it right back to the fast-track Doppler radar, still holding strong with the tornado warning for northwestern Butler County as well as south-central Preble County until 11:30. This storm still showing radar indications of possibly producing a tornado. Now, this is very interesting right here, what I'm seeing really, and that is that the rotation is not as well defined as it was earlier. In fact, it's somewhat spreading out. It's spreading out really. So in other words, it's becoming really broad since the warning has been in effect. Okay, so what we may be starting to see here is the rotation starting to weaken really. We'll have to keep an eye on it really because it looks like it wants to try and regenerate. Okay, so I'll stay with you here as long as this warning is in effect. Really, I'm not going anywhere. It's currently 11:25 on the clock right now. Still holding strong with this tornado warning. That still remains in effect until 11:30. I feel like the National Weather Service will let it expire, but we'll have to see what happens as we get closer to 11:30. Right now, they're still continuing the tornado warning from now until 11:30. I'll go ahead and zoom in because we have a pocket of rotation that is trying to show up over the top of Oxford. It's not a very strong one. It's a broad one, really. But you see that we still have winds going away from the radar, which is what we see shaded in red, and we have winds coming towards the radar, which is what we see shaded in green. Okay, we get them very close to each other. We can often have enough shear or spin or rotation to get the storm to rotate and perhaps produce maybe a brief tornado. Okay. Now, any storm that does rotate tonight will have the potential of producing a tornado. We actually had there was a tornado in far southwestern Indiana earlier today. It was a large tornado, really. So we'll have to keep an eye on the radar throughout the night. Okay. 11:26 on the clock right now. Still holding strong with this tornado warning. If you just joined me here, we still have a tornado. We have a tornado warning that still continues for northwestern Butler County as well as south central Preble County until 11:30. Okay, the National Weather Service is going to go ahead and let this tornado warning expire for Preble and Butler counties. So that is some good news. So it looks like the rotation has weakened considerably. Like I said, it's not as well defined as it was earlier when I came on air for the warning. Really, that's some good news. However, still some heavy rain, some gusty winds, some lightning, and maybe some small hail. Really, with the storm, still possible. But it looks like the rotation is starting to fade a lot. Really, so. It's 11:27, so this tornado is about ready to expire completely, and that will be it. Keep in mind, like I said, tornado watch continues for Fayette and Union counties in Indiana, as well as Butler, Warren, and Preble counties in Ohio until midnight tonight. We have flood advisories that have been issued as well for areas where the rain could become problematic. The latest flood advisory is for Union County, Indiana, as well as Butler and Preble counties in Ohio until 2:15 a.m. Wayne County, Indiana, and as well as Dark and Preble counties in Ohio until 1:45 a.m. Fayette, Union, and Wayne counties in Indiana and Preble County, Ohio until 12:45. So those are the flood advisories that are currently in effect for the Miami Valley. And again, this is for areas where the rain can become problematic as the night progresses. Okay, because after this second round moves through, we have this last round that you see moving in really that is currently impacting Fayette County and will be moving into Union County and parts of western Butler County and making its way through the western part of the Miami Valley. Okay, so 11:29 on the clock right now. This 21 is about ready to expire right at the top of the hour of 11:30. Although I will be watching this tail end right here, this little appendage really, but it looks like the rotation for the most part has weakened really, so that's some good news really. So we'll give it a minute here, and we should be good to go with this tornado warning being allowed to expire. We know it's going to expire here in a minute really. There it goes, right there. You just saw the red polygon disappear, okay? So that is it for this video. If I have any other warnings, I will certainly pass those along to you. Take care, stay safe, get some sleep, okay? And if I have any other warnings, I will certainly be back on to pass them along to you, no matter how tired I am. So that is it. You guys take care. Have a good night. Get some sleep. And I love you guys. All right. Good night. Bye.